It still really bothered me that there were these rules that I didn't feel were right. I was an Indicor Fellow in 2007, and my project was in a small village called Agane in a tribal area in Maharashtra. Growing up, I feel like I had a really particular sense of right and wrong, especially when it came to the way men and women are treated. So, for example, when my parents didn't teach my older brother how to cook, but then said that my sister and I had to learn, I refused. So to this day, I'm 31 and I really can't cook, which is a shame. And I really went into my year in India with that attitude. And I knew going in, I was like, there's going to be stuff I don't like. And, women are probably going to do most of the work in this place. And I got that. But when I got there was one specific thing that really bothered me. And so I was working in a tribal community, a beautiful community. It was in a forested area. They had an area of the forest that they referred to it as a sacred grove. So it was a sacred area of the forest, and there were certain rules around that. And the rules were, both men and women could go in, but the women weren't allowed to wear shoes, and then you also weren't allowed to go in when you were on your period because they said you'd either become infertile or die. Both of those things are really bad, obviously. So there was that rule, and the main water source for this whole village was also in this sacred grove. It was the women getting the water, but they had to do it without shoes. It was like really rocky, like little girls, and me as well. So I didn't enjoy that particularly, not being able to wear shoes. And then also, there was a week every month where you couldn't do it. And that really bothered me because in my head, I was like, okay, they're doing all the work, but they also have to deal with these annoying rules that make it harder. And it just, it made me feel really outraged and just kind of annoyed that, if you're gonna make these people do all the work, then at least let them be comfortable. So I'd moan about it and complain to people about it. And then one day, I talked to some fellow volunteers that were working in India with me, and one of them said, well, what if you thought about it this way? For 1 week of the month, these women get to rest and don't have to do this, and their husbands have to do it. And I had really never thought of it that way before. And so I kind of considered that, and it's true, they did get to rest. But at the same time, I wasn't completely satisfied with that explanation. It still really bothered me that there were these rules that I didn't feel were right. And, I think I never fully got to terms with it. I think I sort of left that year being like, this still really bothers me. But what I learned along the way is that, there are just going to be some things that you don't get and you don't understand or don't feel like are right to you. But that's okay. And, sometimes there are still different ways that you can make an impact. And, just be patient with the things that you don't, that don't sit right with you, because, to be able to make a change in something, you first have to kind of seek to understand a different point of view.